Today we will covering the JDBC and data sources part. So any questions from yesterday's session regarding deploying web applications?
Amit,
No questions.
did you have a question last night? Yesterday?
No, but no, I don't have any. Do you have any questions?
I do actually. You know, yesterday we trying to do the WLST, right?
Yes.
And trying to find out like our application is deployed to which server, like from the WLST.
Oh, yeah. You asked yesterday.
And then we learn how to start application, but is it the same way to start the server too?
Yeah, for starting server, we already checked the command start server.
Start server, yeah, but we gotta start the node manager first, right?
Yes, but for that node manager should be up and running. Yesterday, I guess you were having some issues with the your Weblogic.
Yeah. Let's log in right now. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Did you try it yesterday or right after once it was unlocked?
Oh, and actually after that, my employer called me, so I had to go there, and then after that, I had to walk.
Okay.
And at night time, I had to fill up some form. It took me a long time.
Okay, sure. No issues.
But I remember from yesterday. 1 second. So, like when we go to a WLST, we can go from any location, or we gotta go from WLS, like to run it.
Let me make you the presenter. You can share your screen. Binod, are you sharing?
Yeah. Yes, you can catch it.
Not yet.
Yeah, I know he's doing something. So can I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
So like no-hop, not no-hop, like boot.properties, we set the boot.properties, and every time we do not need to put the password and user ID.
Yes.
So whenever we go to the WLST, we have to connect the WebLogic. We cannot do anything without connecting WebLogic. Yes. So can there any ways, so that we do not need to connect every time, whenever the WebLogic scripting tool starts, it connects the WebLogic of that machine.
Yeah, actually, but for that you will need to write like some kind of script. So then you can like have the initiating command and the WSC command in that, so that once you like run that script, so it will automatically connect and you will be inside the WSC prompt for anyone. Well, like when you like manually like connect it, then definitely like first you need to connect to, because it's like an utility. So, and so it's like it's not specific to one domain. So with like single WST on Windows computer, I can connect to like any WebLogic stack. I can connect to WebLogic on Amit's machine or on Stylish's machine or on some other machine which is present in like England or India. If like we have the connectivity to that WebLogic IP and port, then definitely you can connect on any WebLogic stack.
Oh,
So
okay.
like
We need to IP and user and credential.
yes, right. Like that was the purpose, like why they designed and for WLST, so that you can like administer remote admin, like remotely you can manage whole domain from some of the location.
So if we will try to connect in the remote, so we don't need to start the node manager as that case. Also, we also need IP and credential, or we need to start node manager.
Yes, node manager should be here running here, and node manager should be running in the remote location as well. So both places we need the node manager. So node manager is basically not just for your single domain.
Yeah.
There is node manager is like your physical server manager. So there is one node manager on one server. So Amit can only run one node manager here.
Okay. And same node manager
Works
would be
for all
assigned
other
in different
domains in
machines.
same server. If you have like 3 to 4 domains here, it works. No issues. Only single node manager is sufficient.
Can you guys see my screen or not?
Yeah.
Okay. What I did was log into WLST, connect to my account, and after that my question was I want to see how many servers there are and how many servers are in running condition and how many application is downloaded to what server, like right now I just started my server ABC
Right.
to LST.
Is it started?
Yeah, I started. Yeah, I did right here.
Okay. Can you check in console as well?
Yeah, I did. It's already starting running.
Okay.
See? Did you see it?
Yeah.
And my question was Like I got a application.
Mhm.
Like I got a. Okay, I got these two applications right now.
Mhm.
So I want to see. Suppose I want to see dispatcher servlets has been deployed to which server. Like how do I know like which server deploy dispatcher servlets has been deployed so that I can start my server.
Mm. Because like again, like I was checking for this list applications yesterday, but like I didn't find any options there with which like we can. So it was like limiting us to only see the app's name.
Oh, because I put the list. I mean
Actually,
list.
like there is no specific command. So actually, what you will need to do is you need to like go to the main directory, and then like you need to navigate to the main directory first. Uh, do a pwd. So do an ls.
On the WLST or the outside?
No, no, here only do an ls.
LS.
Ah,
Then
no, 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 on wlst. You
inside
can use
WLST,
that e syntax command.
E syntax.
Yeah, e is in small and s in caps.
Yeah.
Syntax and yeah.
Okay.
Now run ls. Your screen is frozen for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go a little bit up. There should be a directory named deployments.
Yeah.
I can't see that yet. Go a little bit up because I am okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go to deployments.
It's the same command, right?
CD deployment. Just like Unix. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You need to put the bracket, maybe.
No, no, no. Bracket is not needed because right now we are in
Okay.
E syntax.
Oh,
Yeah. It was deployments, I guess, and D was caps.
Yeah.
Screen is frozen. Okay, that's fine now.
Can you see my screen?
Uh, yeah, but like there's nothing changing. I only see CD.
I put CD deployment and LS, and I went inside the list of inside the directory deployment.
Okay.
I know why it's slow.
Is it fine for you guys? Sorry.
Sadeb, I mean, are you guys seeing all my screen?
you are only in the deployment.
Yes.
Wait, let me make me the center again and then I will give you the center. Okay. Okay, without the other presenter again.
You got it?
Still not seeing anything.
What do you say?
Oh, still it is blank for me.
Really?
You have shared your screen?
Yes, I did. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, it's visible now.
I guess it got stuck. Now you get
Okay.
yeah?
Yep. Okay. So, do you have the deployments in there right now? In the console, you have the deployments?
What do you mean? Deployment what?
Go to console and can you show me what deployments we have there?
Oh, the application?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
No, in console.
Console? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
in the
in
console.
okay, because I'm still seeing your terminal.
Oh, I know
Oh,
what.
right. Okay, so what you are seeing in the deployments? What is the current
I'm
state?
yeah, I'm seeing two application has been deployed, and it's the current state is active.
Okay. And what are the names?
Advertisement application and dispatcher servlets.
Okay. Now come back to the terminal. Hmm. It's quite unfortunate. So if you like go one directory back using cd dot dot, that you can see like what is the other folder just above the deployments. Can you give me the name?
It is deployment configuration.
Terminal, yeah. Deployment configuration.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to that. And if you do an ls, what is there?
Deployment configuration. Yeah, that's what I did. Deployment. On the tab doesn't use on this one.
Sorry, can you come again?
I was trying to use the tab and the tab is not.
Yeah, tab will not work here.
Yeah.
Yes, tab will not work here because like right now we are not in Unix. We are in WLSD. Like you need to manually copy and paste. And I'm just imagining your screen because I'm not able to see anything.
Oh yeah. Okay. I went inside the deployment configuration, and after that I went inside the base domain because there was only one directory,
Okay.
and I went inside the base domain directory, and all I see is a name, remote deployer, EZB enabled, type, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. We will need to find out exact bean, like in which bean the deployment configuration will be there. So the
Was that?
previous deployments which we checked, they were like the system default deployments for different modules. I'm not able to see your screen. Should I click on? See much. Okay, I will check on that. You can ping in the
Okay.
chat. So we need to check for you. Like your query is you want to see the deployments are on which target that you need to check, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let me note it down. Check that.
Like when we do the list application, right? It will show us a list of application that has been deployed, right? But
Yes.
it won't show us which application is active or which application is not active. But my question was, after I see an application, I want to know those application has been deployed to what other, servers that we have, And if I need to make the server running first to make the particular application start, because if the server is not running, the application is not going to run. So I have to make sure that application has been deployed to a certain server, so I can go to server and start server first with node manager or whatever. After that, I come back and then I start the application.
Yeah, yeah, that question is perfect, and you will be like having many such requirements as well in future. Like when you start working, someone will ask, okay, uh, what you need to do is you need to like grab all the server details, then grab
Uh-huh.
me the status, like what is the status. So like there is no specific command for that. What you need to do at that time is first you need to like grab the server names, then cd to those servers, and so
Uh-huh.
you will like you need to create a script for same, I guess. So then you cd to that server, you go inside that, grab the status and any other like port detail or anything. So it works like that. Because in list application it is only giving you the name of application. So if you want more information, so you need to write a script that first write the command list application. So it will give
Uh-huh.
you name of your application. Then you need to copy those particular application name into some file and
Uh-huh.
parse that file with each name. You go to the deployment, you grab some details like what are the targets, what is the plant details, what is the current status. So all such details are available there. You just need to grab those.
Through a console or through a terminal?
No, no, in WLSD. So I
Not
will
in the WSU, right?
from console. I think you can already check, but yeah, we will check do
Yeah.
that from WLSD.
Oh, okay.
So in WSI you may need to write and like script, so that will, but once you write one script then you have it like for forever, so you can run it anytime. It will be like one time of
Okay.
it only.
Okay. Maybe you can check and maybe we can learn next class.
Yeah, sure. I will see if we need to write some script or we can have some like, using other commands, we can grab that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me note it down. That I think that after the class. Actually, I have Weblogic and everything installed in my other Linux machine itself.
Oh.
And but for the meeting part, actually, I need to log in with Windows only. Not sure. I have not like formatted my system for like 3 to 4 years. So it's running like that only. Like it's damn slow.
So in WLST you cannot start like all the server with one command start in the bracket inside the bracket.
I didn't get that.
Like if you want to start a single server, you just put start bracket close and then bracket open and then put the server name and then bracket close, right?
Start server and then bracket quote server name.
Yeah. If I want to start like a 4 or 5 server at one time, can I do it like that, or you have to do it?
Not sure. So like you may need to write a script or something in that case. But like you can try by giving, not sure because I have not tried that, but not sure if it will take 2 names. You can like try giving, you can put in comma and then the next server name. See if
Yeah,
that
I
works.
it work.
It works?
Oh.
No. So you tried that?
Yeah, I tried, but it didn't work.
Okay.
I put in comma, yeah, like you said.
Yeah, actually in that case we may need to write an script which will, so we will
So,
give one command, then we will get all the server names and when we can
yeah.
restart if anyone is down.
So, Anuj,
Yeah.
I think we need to know the scripting really good, right? Because I think the scripting is very important.
Yes, it is important. And I will share and talk today. Let me upload it right now in the training material. So it's like a WST guide from Oracle itself. So there are only 64 pages, but once you are like done with all 64 pages, then you will master of WST. Even I have not gone through all the pages. I didn't get chance. So I have put it inside the learning material, training material tab. Okay. So your query was first query. CSRS list tab with server detail WMT, right? Any other query?
This application with server detail with uh, list the server, right? With list the server status. This is the same thing, right? Server detail.
Yeah, for that actually need to write some script. So this will cover that. Okay.
Okay, and you put the cmo.get servers. What is this command? to get the server?
It's like similar to list application, so which list applications. This is to get the server names.
In the WLST, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put this command, it didn't work.
Okay.
I can put that command from any location, right?
Yes. What was the error?
The error was attribute error get servers.
Okay. Before that, do this.
Domain config. It didn't show the list of server.
Okay. What is there any error?
It doesn't say error, but it got a lot of stuff saying array WebLogic management configuration, and yeah, stuff like that. I guess it showed, but it showed in different format. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Different format means?
Not in the list, list like ls hyphen lrt way,
Yeah, it will not fit that way. That will only come with the ls command.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, I noted down your request. Check that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, training material, you can grab everything from here. I created all the queries as well. So you can, if you have like got any queries, you can update this document. I will check on that. Okay, let's start with today's session, which is for JDBC. So JDBC is basically your Java database connectivity. Java database connectivity. So what is it? Basically what it is. So it is an API for accessing different databases in uniform way. So your app will connect to only WebLogic data sources. So WebLogic will give it a name. So your application is referencing that particular name only. So you don't have to put any type of logic in your application that you're connecting to Oracle DB or you're connecting to MySQL or you're connecting to any particular DB. So you are free from that. So that is the feature in WebLogic, which is provided for like to ease the life of developers. So we checked our 3-tier architecture starting. So here we had our everything, managed server, admin server, node manager and all. And here is the database server, right? So for this database server, we provide the configuration setting we configure the connection details in machine A, which is administration server. And the database is targeted to, the targets are made as managed server on which the apps are running. In that way, and when the app comes up, it connects to WebLogic, connects to this database, and app connects to WebLogic for data source connection. Okay. So basically, like why we use that, because everything, whatever you are using is stored somewhere, right? Even like if you are using Android or iPhone phones, so they also have the database, SQL-like database or other databases which are used for like mobiles and all. All the data is stored there and it is retrieved from there. So like most of the apps. So any one of you have worked on a database thing earlier? Like created some database or worked on some database thing?
Saudeb, I think Saudeb.
Okay.
No, no. Why you thought I work? No.
No, I just wanted to. I think Omid has work.
So Amit, what kind of work you had with DB?
I mean,
What is that? Huh.
Amit slept, I guess. Amit, like we were checking like who has worked on database thing, like who had like a prior experience with database
As
connectivity and
he knows .NET.
with which?
.NET. You know.
no.
Okay,
.NET Guru. You know this .NET Guru.
okay, great. So, but .NET in like .NET, you will be having those C sharp and all, VB.NET, C sharp.
Did you guys check my message? Yes, sir. Well, honors, I just says Omid and Saudeb because they weren't talking. You know, that's why.
Right.
But well, I took some class regarding that Pico database,
Okay.
and but it was a long time ago, and I didn't get to you know, like work on it. Just took some class. That's it.
So basically, in databases, like there is usually a different team. So you will be having some database experts because they are needed. Because a middleware admin usually will not be managing the database as well, because that is itself a big field to learn.
Yeah.
So that itself is a different field. So you can be master in one of the things. So you can like either learn little bit of logic and little bit of, but that will not make you an expert in either of the field. So usually database is left for the DBAs. They work on this database things and all. They schedule the backups. They create schemas, performance tuning of DB. So that involves a lot of work. So usually that's their field. What we are interested in, we just ask them to provide our some connection details. They give us the connection details. We input those connection details into our administration console. So once we are done with the settings in our administration console, we can monitor the connection statistics. Our app can connect to the database. So your app is not directly going to the database. Usually in Java, you can define the connection details as well. So you can define connection details, so it will directly connect to DB. But in enterprise archives, usually what we do is your app contacts the managed server for data source details. Data source is the configuration details corresponding to the database. So your app connects to Weblogic for DB connectivity. Weblogic already has the DB connection pool. It provides the connection pool to application, and application uses that connection pool. So application is like, so your application is free because it doesn't have to contact to direct DB and then request the connection, which takes a lot of time. So WebLogic in turn does everything for application. So it relieves application of the duty for getting the connection details. We will see how that can be done. So what are the features which JDBC provides? It provides a platform independent access to database. So it doesn't matter like on which environment like you are deploying the application. It's either Windows, Unix, Linux, AIX. Your code is written in Java, so that is already platform independent. You guys, yeah, Java is a platform independent platform. So once you write the code in Java, you deploy it into WebLogic. WebLogic takes care of the connectivity part with database. So your database is on AIX or your database is on any other OS. That doesn't matter for WebLogic. WebLogic has all the code, all the drivers, different kinds of drivers for Windows, drivers for Linux, and all those kind of drivers are already included with the WebLogic for the database connectivity, so that you don't have to fiddle out the details and issues yourself. That already takes care of it. Because if like if you are in like Tomcat, if you're deploying in Tomcat, so Tomcat doesn't have this facility, so you need to write the connection pool detail in your war file or ER file. So that involves like lot of stuff. So if your DB is on Windows or your DB is on Unix, then the like connection details, and you need to have like separate code changes, and you need to configure the database connectivity. If it is a Windows server, then you need to create some other artifacts as well in Windows for proper DB connectivity. But if you have WebLogic in Windows, you phase out the Tomcat, then you just need to deploy the application in the console and configure the database connectivity from administration console only. So that will save you a lot of effort, and that's why like we prefer WebLogic for that's an enterprise ready tool. So these are the reasons which make it enterprise wide ready.
So when we know how to do WebLogic, can we be able to do the Tomcat too, or what?
I didn't get the question.
Like if we know how to work on a WebLogic, can we still work on a Tomcat too? Is it same like environment, or is it different?
Yeah, actually, once you learn WebLogic, then you can quickly learn Tomcat on your own as well. So that's not like that is the you can say the WebLogic is the main thing, and the concepts remain same. So the concepts remain same in Tomcat, in WebSphere, in JBoss. Only the process changes. So you just need to figure out, okay, where to check the logs, from where to start the application, from where to
Uh-huh.
start the manage server, from where to start and where to do the configuration. Rest of the stuff remains same. You have the ER file, you have the var file, you need to deploy the same. We need to just figure
Uh-huh.
out how can we deploy. So you can just
Uh,
install Tomcat,
uh-huh.
figure out the way how you can deploy, figure out
Uh-huh.
clustering and all. So concepts remain same in every application server. So
Uh-huh.
Tomcat is an application server, WebLogic is an application server, and your WebSphere, JBoss, these are the
Yeah.
like commonly used application servers.
All of these work with we gotta work from a backend terminal, right? And the console is
Yes.
different to each application server.
Yeah, for Tomcat you have gotten console. For WebSphere as well you have gotten very well defined console similar to WebLogic. But Tomcat is usually used in like low priority applications or like which doesn't have like high requirement for high availability or clustering. Because
Uh-huh.
like there you have like clustering and all those methods are like quite tricky and you may get some issues as well.
Mhm.
That's not robust. But in WebLogic and WebSphere, you can say both these are enterprise ready application servers.
Uh-huh. What about
Primarily like
JBoss?
yeah, application servers. So primarily we used to have WebLogic and WebSphere only in enterprises, but now JBoss is also making in the roads. Like
So
people are getting used to work on JBoss as well because it's an open source. So the licensing cost is very less.
oh, so you think the in the future the company will use a JBoss more?
Uh, yeah,
So we need to know about the JBoss too, right?
yeah. Actually, the main thing is you should know completely about at least one
Uh-huh.
application server. So either you know WebLogic completely, or either you know WebSphere completely, or either you know JBoss completely. Then
Yeah.
you can work on any of the application server. So you just need to figure out the ways how, okay, I used to perform this in this way on WebLogic. I need to just find out the way how I can perform the same here.
Oh,
It
okay, okay.
becomes like quite easy.
You need to master one first.
Yeah, once you're master in one, then you can learn. At least you will have confidence then, okay, I can do that. Or I was able to do this on that one, so I can do this on this one as well.
Okay.
So like you can grab the manual or you can find out from the Google as well, the tabs. But usually like there is an extensive documentation is there. So as soon as you click on, so for WebLogic we have already seen that the help is already provided in the console itself. For WebSphere as well, similar kind of help exists. So what are the features which JDBC provides? It provides you a platform where you can access the all the data independently. So either the DB is on Windows, either the DB is on Linux or Unix, or whatever be the platform of yours, you will be able to connect to. So it's not dependent on any platform that okay, if you are deploying on Unix, then you have to be on Unix. So that is not dependent on any platform. And there is a location transparency. So it doesn't matter like where the database is, yeah, the JDBC connectivity will take care of it. So location is like transparent to you, so there is no ambiguity. You will be able to connect to the any location in the world with the JDBC, and it has support for both two-tier and multi-tier models for database access. So in multi-tier we will see later the multi-data sources and all, how it can be done. So this is an okay. So what is a two-tier architecture and what is a multi-tier model? So in two-tier architecture, what happens in a Java application communicates directly with the database. So in two-tier architecture, what happens? A JDBC driver is needed for your client application that can communicate with directly with the DBMS. So this is a client server configuration. And what happens in the multi-tier model? Commands are sent to a middle tier of service, which then sends the command to DBMS. So two-tier architecture is what is like being used in Tomcat, or if you are using mainly. Multi-tier architecture is for Weblogic. Here you can see there is nothing between application and database in two-tier architecture. But in multi-tier architecture, we have this server. And any idea what this server is? This is your managed server. Okay. And in this managed server, you have configured this data source. So we will see, we'll be seeing how we can configure data source. But right now we have a data source in our managed server M1 or Amit1 or ABC, and this is your client application, advertisement application, you can say. So this advertisement application is deployed on this server. It connects to this server first, then it goes to the data source. It requests a connection from the data source. Data source connects to DBMS. So this is how the multi-tier architecture works. Here, like your application doesn't need any driver or any it doesn't have to deal much with the connectivity part. It doesn't have to deal with the database failures and all. Your data source will take care of everything. And in where we saw in in two-tier architecture, we need to have a driver which can communicate with DB. So that needs to be included with the application itself. So that creates an overhead for the developers. That is a feature provided by Weblogic in multi-tier architecture. Then let's maximize it. So this is your simple architecture, how it is maintained. So this is your Weblogic server, and you have a data source created. So this is your data source. Data source is nothing but connection information regarding database. So here you have you can ignore this below part. Just consider right now we have only this data source. It is connecting to this database. So for connectivity, definitely a driver is needed. What is a driver? Is like a set of instruction that allows Weblogic and database to communicate with themselves. If we don't have a driver, then they don't know how to communicate with each other. Driver is needed for internal communication between Weblogic and database. So for you, Weblogic comes with many type of drivers. So Weblogic has Oracle drivers. Weblogic has MySQL drivers. Weblogic has DB2 drivers, Informix, Sybase. These are like different kind of databases for all these databases a driver is provided. So we'll be seeing this as well once we create the data source. You will see that where you can check all these details. So this is our internal client coming to WebLogic. It is going to the application. Application connects to data source, and here we can see that there are 3 connections. So application don't need to create any connection to database. Application just picks the connection from data source. So what the best feature of data sources is, when you restart your managed server, your data source connects to database and checks if your data base is up and running fine. If it is up and running fine, it requests a set number of connections which you define in configuration. So if you have defined initially start with 15 connections. Similarly, in the way we assigned physical memory initially to our managed server, so initially we started like with 256 MB and maximum was 512 MB of RAM, right? So similarly, we have the minimum and maximum limit of connections for each managed server for data source connection pools. So how many connections you want for each instance? So suppose we start with 15 or 50 or 200, that depends like how many DB connections requirement is for your application. So if your application doesn't need more than 15 DB connections at a time, then you start with 10 or 5, and you can the maximum limit you can give is like 50, 100. So that all parameters depend on your application functionality, like what is the requirement. So suppose we have initial argument has been given as 15. So what it will do is it will connect when the managed server is coming up, a data source is created. It connects to database and makes 15 database connections with database. So now you have 15 connections going from this managed server to database. So you have 15 connections already. And so since we already have the 15 connections, so as soon as the request comes from application, your application needs to connect to database, so it doesn't need to initiate a new connection, because when you create a connection, then there is definitely some time is needed in which like it communicates, it goes there and makes the connection, resolves the differences. So all this takes time, but we already have the 15 connections. So app just connect directly to data source and the connection is there. So it writes on that connection, the queries run, it gets the database, insert the database, update the database, whatever is the feature it want to do, that happens, and the responses received to the managed server, and then the connection is closed by application, and that connection is then released to the connection pool. So it is a connection pool basically. A data source has connection pool. If the pool meaning is the same, number of a large number of connections. So here like it is showing only 3 connection because we have only 3 connection defined here. But in our case we defined 15, so the connections would become 15. The application takes any of these connections, and suppose we just imagine if we have like 3 connections. So we have connection 1, 2, 3. So we have one internal client connecting to application. The application connects to connection pool. It requests a connection from the pool. So connection 1 is given to the application. Now we have only 2 free connection. So maximum 2 more user can connect. So we have 1 more user coming to for the data source request. Okay, we welcome that user. That user is also like able to connect to data source and then able to grab the second database connection. So second connection is also gone. Now we have only one connection left, right? Okay, so you guys are with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, because it was lengthy one. So now we have only one free connection because two of the users are currently working on the connection part. So they have run some heavy query and it is still in progress. So like he is using for 5 minutes, the second user is also using for 5 minutes, and our third user also comes online. He also connects to the data source. So what happens now is there was only one free connection was available and that is given to the user as well. So now our all data source connection are used up. So what will happen when we got new request? So fourth user is also connected, and app will request an connection from connection pool in data source for that this managed server. So connection pool will give an error to the application that okay boss, we only had the three connections and those three connections are already in use, so we cannot provide you a new connection. Either increase this limit from 3 to more or close the old connections. So either like the only scenario is if you make this count from 3 to 4 or 5 or 10 or 15 or 50, or if the other three users disconnect, any of the user disconnect, then again one connection will be available to the user. Okay. So this
So
is
you using a cluster in that connection, pool?
each data source is uh, so if you target data source, you can target the data source on either the cluster or any particular managed server.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And there is a concept of multi data source as well.
So basically, we gotta use in the multi data source.
That depends on your configuration,
Okay.
because like multi data source, why we use multi data source? We use this for high availability.
Yeah.
So what happens is, suppose, let me explain. So right now, in just ignore the below part, we had this data source and this database. Okay, what happens if this database goes down? This BB is gone. So our app is completely down because we don't have a backup of this database running. We don't have any failover mechanism here because we were using this single database only. So that is a single point of failure for us. But Weblogic is designed for high availability and scalability, right? So what is the solution in this case? So there are like two solutions available. The first solution is what happens usually is do we have any whiteboard here as well? Okay. Okay. So what is the feature we have now is that is called an VIP. So what happens usually in that case is you have an another DB as well. Okay. So this is D1 and this is D2 and they both have an IP of, you can say they have an IP A. Okay. So in that case, what happens is your application is not connecting directly to this DB. It connects to a VIP. VIP. It's an virtual IP. And why we use this VIP? So your application is connecting to this VIP and there is a specific failover mechanism in like setup at either in Unix or Linux that allows you. Okay, so it connects to that particular VIP and that VIP in turn connects to either of the database which is active. So you can, if it is in failover mode, what will happen if this DB goes down, then your app is pointing on this DB. If this DB goes down and this is running, then your app connects to VIP and VIP is coming to this because this is active. So this is the active and this is failover. So that is on you, like which you define as failover or which you define as active. But they are working in VIP mode. So you don't have to deal with it. You just they will just give you this VIP. Just configure this VIP in your data source connection details and connect to this VIP. Rest of the stuff they will maintain. So once if there is any issue with this, the VIP will point to this. If there is any issue with this, the VIP will point to this. So at a time you will be definitely having at least one other server would be available, other database.
So is it the VIP is like a clustering? Like in cluster 2, like when we deploy any application by using cluster, if it crash or fail over, then the cluster will automatically provide the sources or everything for related to the application. So
Exactly.
available.
Exactly, but that cluster is set up at OS level in database,
Uh-huh.
or either it is in the rack functionality in database. Right? There's like two options, or even they can set up the VIP at SL on Unix level,
Uh-huh.
or there is a rack functionality as well in database. So in rack, what happens? There are two databases which are configured in rack in cluster. So if one is down, then the other will be taking the load.
Oh, it's the same thing, the
Right.
cluster.
It's the same thing like cluster, high availability. These are the main needs of the R. In every product you will find these like characteristics. So
Uh-huh.
similarly, we have this in database. But just in case you don't have the VIP or clustering in database, then
Uh-huh.
you can perform the same manually in WebLogic as well.
Oh, okay.
So if we don't have this scenario, we don't have two DBs with a VIP. So what we will do is we will create a multi-data source. So previously, what was happening, your application was connecting to data source. So now it will connect to still one data source only, which is multi-data source.
Uh-huh.
So multi-data source is nothing but it's similar to VIP, because it will be also pointing to the active database. So just this is the same thing, and these are the same thing. So we have two connection pools, two data sources. This is database A, this is database B, and there is a sync or replication is going on between both the databases, because whatever you are updating or whatever you are reading the data, that should be real time, right? There should
Yes.
not be any delay, or it should be in sync with between the both the database, as both the database are for same application. They are not for different apps. So we have database A and then we have database B. They are used by the same application, but both are different databases.
Uh-huh.
Data is same in both the databases. So data is exactly same, but both are different databases.
It's just a
And
copy.
yeah, they are just a copy. And why we make the copies? For failover situations,
Uh,
or in case A goes down, then we have B.
Yeah.
And in this case, our app is connecting to this multi-data source IP. It's, you can say, as an VIP. It is an
Uh-huh.
GNDI name, and it has the reference of these two data source. So you
So,
can, so there are two methods actually in that which you can configure. Okay.
So how do we set up that VIP?
VIP, we never set the VIP. It's an system administrator. So for this scenario where we discuss the VIP that will be provided to us, and in this case, I am just saying that it is acting as an VIP. It is not an VIP actually. It is a multi-data source. There is a specific name. We are connecting to this name, but it is acting as an VIP because it will always connect to either both, or if suppose this goes down, this DB goes down and only our B database is available, then your request is coming to multi-data source, then it will check for this, but this is down, so it will mark it as down and future request will not go here until this comes up. So again, then your request will go here, because it will see that it is this A data source is disabled because it is down. So your request will go to data source B, and it will go to this, and it will go to this. So
What if the data source B is down too? Then where goes the top one?
If this is down, this was already down, and if it also goes down, then your application is not available and your users will complain that, okay, I'm not able to access the application. But if
Oh,
any of that, if this is running, if at a time only a single is running, then your app, there will be no impact. Your
available,
app will
yeah.
be available to the users all the time, because at least like one should be available.
Uh-huh.
So who decides how many connection pool to be, make available? Us or
That
the?
that like dev team will tell you. So because they design applications, they know that they were provided the information that you need to prepare this application for 50 users or 100 users or 5,000 users or 10,000 users. So it's upon them, like, so they will only so they first test in their environment, they do the testing and all, and then they come to us, then they ask us that, okay, we will need, we have this much number of users, so we want at least this much number of connections in DB and in WebLogic end. Because if you have like more number of connection defined and they are not in use, then that is a wastage of resources. And if you have like very less number of connection defined and the usage is more, then what will happen? Your users will get like frequent errors once your connections are full. So we saw like in that case how once we have the 3 connections, the 4th user will not be able to access the application because of the error in connectivity with DB. You need to have an optimum number of connections. So that will only come once you like tune as per the application needs. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are 2 methodologies here. So what are these 2 methodologies? In this case, the multi-data source case, high
Availability.
so we have like 2 methods available here. Failover is in failover, so in high availability, or you can say clustering, we have both, what the correct term is, load balancing.
Oh,
So as per the names in load balancing, what will happen? Your both data sources are active. So load will be equally
distributed.
distributed on both data sources. So these are like when you configure the multi-data source, okay. When you configure the multi-data source, it will ask you the algorithm which you want to use. So in load balancing, both the data sources will be active and load will be equally distributed in both the data sources. And as the name applies for failover, only one data source is active, other will be made active only when first one fails. So only if like the data source which was active first in first place, if it goes down, then only then data source will fail over to the other data source. Multi-data source will fail over to the other data source. Is it clear?
Yeah.
And where we define these algorithms, we define it when we create multi-data source, we provide the algorithm. If it is load balanced or failover. What happens in
So
load
we do it,
balanced? Yeah.
we do it from console.
Yes, we define it in console only.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try to create some data source. Who has the XAMPP installed?
I think I did, but it didn't work. Remember?
But you have it installed right now, right?
I think so. Yeah. Let me check.
Okay, let me make you representative then.
Download. Yeah, I got it. You see it now?
I only see your terminal.
Terminal. I think it was from long time ago.
Amit or Sehdev, what are you saying?
Can you guys see?
I'm seeing the PowerPoint right now.
On a slide.
Are you on a slide, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
PowerPoint slide.
How about now?
It's still same.
Same PowerPoint slide.
Oh, now that's
Bob, ma'am.
hero came out.
Bob Marley. Yeah.
Bob Marley. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now Anuj can see too.
Yeah, I'm still seeing Bob Marley.
Oh. Okay. There's XAMPP.
Binod, I guess there's some issue with your machine. Amit, do you have? Let's make Amit the presenter. Amit, you also installed the XAMPP, right?
Yes, I think so. I downloaded it, but
Okay. Okay. Share your screen. Let's see. We will install it. We will create a database. Then we will go to Weblogic and we will create the database connection in Weblogic. Then we will see how we
you
can
can see my
create.
screen.
Not yet.
Yeah, that's the one.
Today it seems to be some problem with GoToMeeting itself. Amit, you have shared? Yeah, it's visible now.
Yeah, this is right here, the XAM.
Mine.
There's the same problem in Amit's system as well. Let me make Binod present again.
The installer requires root privilege. Please become super user before executing the installer. What does that mean?
Yes, you need to be root user. You can share the screen. Go to the terminal first. And from terminal, you need to run the command sudo and this installer name
Sudo.
and the installer name. It will ask for the password. The password will be your Ubuntu machine password.
You said sudo space.
Yes.
sudo space this thing, right?
Yeah, the XAMPP installer.
That's it.
Yeah.
One second. I'm going to get this. That's it, right? It's a command not harm.
Sudo. Then you
Uh-huh.
can remove that file colon full path. Just remove this file colon and double slash. Just remove that. We just need the one slash.
Next. Developer file or a core file?
Uh, I'm still in the sudo command. It is updating slowly.
See?
Not yet.
Maybe it's because I opened it.
Amit and Sahdev, are you guys able to see?
No, only I'm seeing. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do one thing. Okay. Yeah, you need to click on core files as well. Select both core and developer files, then click next. So where are we, Vinod, right now?
It's installing, unpacking the file.
Okay.
You can see the screen. Huh?
I'm still on the XAMPP core file developer files page.
Really? I don't know why.
If there is delay in go to meetings, some issue with the event probably. We can try one thing.
Yeah.
We can disconnect for like 2 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Then let's rejoin. Let's see if we like. Then it will make a fresh connection to go to meeting server. Then probably the situation may improve
Okay.
because it will like take a lot of time because like we are not able to see your screen. So
Okay.
it's only verbal communication. I'm like
Yeah.
at least we are not able to see your screen or Amit's screen as well.
Okay.
Okay, so you keep on stalling. Let's join in another
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, same session.